I am so excited to be here, and we are definitely talking about the legal issues with live streaming. So please, like they have said, put your questions in the comments and I will get to them, but it probably won't be in this scope. So live streaming is awesome, awesome, awesome. I better move this down so my head is not covered by everyone's comments. Live streaming is awesome, and there's so many good things about it, but there are some really big legal issues that you want to make sure that you are not doing. So I'm going to touch on some of the biggest ones that apply universally to everyone. The first, just like Kevin was saying with his giveaways, be really careful when you are running a giveaway, a contest, or a sweepstakes, because there are gaming laws involved. I know it seems like fun. We get behind our phones, we're tapping our screens, we're giving stuff away right and left. It's nothing but a heart contest. It's all fun and games until one person. It takes one person to not get picked as the winner, and they can give you what I call a legal migraine instantly. So you want to be following the guidelines. And like Kevin mentioned, I have scoped on this before. I called it keep your giveaway legal. And you can find it on my website, which they're so kindly posting the link directly to. And there is a guide. So I was a business owner long before I became an attorney. I only became an attorney because I got so sick and tired of dealing with our attorneys in the business world, because we'd come up with these great ideas and the lawyer would come in the door and say, no, sorry, you can't do that. And it drove me nuts. So you can do giveaways. You can have, I don't recommend heart contests because they are so incredibly, you can't verify them. The hearts are always changing. I've taken a bunch of screenshots. I've had this in my own scopes. You want to use something that you can verify. Hearts are not a good one to do. If you do it in terms of reaching a heart goal, that is much better than saying, the person that gives me the most hearts, I'm going to do this for. Please, please, please don't do that one. But that's the biggest issue, is make sure you are, if you're doing a giveaway, that just like Bethany was mentioning about FTC disclosures, you need to make sure that it is obvious, which I know isn't fun when you're marketing and sharing, but if someone gave you a mic and you're giving it away, be completely transparent, not just when you're speaking, but also back it up with website legal notices so that you have legally zipped up your case. So number one is be really careful with running heart contests, running your giveaways. The other one that you need to be really, really careful about is when you're repurposing your content, which you should be doing. There's too much amazing content out there that you're providing to people. You need to repurpose it. But please, 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 if you do not have a live streaming disclosure on your website as part of your privacy policy, your terms and conditions, and your disclaimer, you need to get one. I send this out. I did it 2 weeks ago. I'm going to do it for the next month for anyone on my email list. So you can go to my site and you can sign up for the email list. I'm sending that out as the live streaming disclosure. So if you would like one, there's many reasons why I can't just send it to you, because I'm a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. So if this triggers issues, make sure you're talking to someone, to an attorney that you can build a relationship with. But you need to have a live streaming disclosure. You're collecting, like right now, we've got your names, we've got your faces, we have your comments, and we might, the universal we, could repurpose this in any number of ways. So you have to tell people, hey, when you come into a live stream, it's fair game. I can use this. You cannot demand that I pay you for it. You can't demand that I take it down. You have to have it. Now, is anyone really going to read those website legal notices that are in your footer? Probably not, until something goes wrong. And when something goes wrong, it's freeze tag. So just like we have the Wayback Machine, they will just take a screenshot of your site. If you don't have those notices at the time of the incident, then you are in trouble. So please, if you're repurposing, like I said, which you should do, make sure you have updated your privacy policy, your terms of use, and your disclaimers to include a live streaming disclaimer, because live streaming is only going to keep going. Repurposing is just going to keep going on. So you want to make sure that you've covered your base if you're repurposing your content. Then another big issue is when you're having guests. I'm a guest tonight. So this afternoon, I sent Jim Bob an email, and I gave him my full copyright release, my full permission to use anything I say, use my guide, distribute my guide. I gave him the full copyright permission release. If you're having people on your scope and you're repurposing their content, you need to have a guest contributor agreement. Now, this can be in email. That counts as written. But if you're, people are contributing, the minute that I create something, the minute you create something, there is what's called copyright protection. Now, that's completely different than copyright registration, which we will probably not get into on this scope, but you want to make sure that you have something in writing from the person that's sharing information that you are then distributing. You're distributing their copyrighted information, because when I create it, it's mine. So I made a PDF guide so that you guys, they could give it to you and you could see, these main pieces. But I also want to make sure that they have, even though I know I would never come back on them, just so that they can file it away and be like, nope, Tamsin said we can distribute this. It's, we have our full copyright permission. They can sell it. I mean, that's what you want. So if you're partnering up, very few people are doing this. And that's the hard part, is business moves at breakneck speed. Business goes so fast. Law is cleanup crew. And when you're scoping, you are not thinking about, oh my gosh, well, what if this and what if that? You shouldn't. You didn't go to law school. But like Kevin said, don't write this off. This stuff, it's right in my world, it's right up there with don't scope and drive. Because it just takes one person. And for most of you, you're building these mini empires, and you don't want to have it go down because you were just like, legal, whatever. It's not going to happen to me. Something will happen at some point. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So just legally zip yourself up and you will be, you'll be good. You won't have a legal migraine. And that, I think my time's getting close. But the big thing with live streaming is pay attention to the legal. Watch those giveaways, especially for hearts, please, unless it's hey, if I reach 500,000, I'm going to give away this. You've got to have a way to measure it. The other big part in live streaming, please don't use the streaming platform's name in your name, because more platforms are going to come out. So when you're naming things, be very aware that people own those trademarked properties. Facebook has come down on things, so that's just a heads up. I know that tends to, Bethany, but P-crawl is okay. P-crawl is okay. But be very careful when you are giving yourself a name, when you are using your hashtag. See if you can come up with a different way. So, for instance, I have a program called Strategic Scoping. So that one is okay. P-crawl is okay. Those are the main things you want to be careful of when you're scoping. And thank you so much. This was so much fun, and I promise we will get to each and every question in one way, shape, or form.